Kendra Tierney is a mom of 10 and an author of the book, The Catholic All-Year Prayer Companion. Kendra, thanks so much for being with us all the way from California. Thanks for getting up early. Great to have you on. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
West is best. West is best, you know.
Yeah, Bishop is a big fan of California, just so you know.
All right, great.
So there are so many types of calendars: academic calendars, fiscal year, and of course our liturgical calendar. Tell us why it's important to pray the seasons.
Yeah, we have found in our family that using the liturgical calendar as sort of a framework for not only prayer, but also getting to know the saints and learning about church doctrine. We've just found it to be such a helpful sort of guide, because there are so many different types of prayer and so many saints, and it would be impossible to get to all of it every day. So it's nice to have kind of a plan, and the church gives us that with the calendar.
Now, Kendra, I want to talk to you later on about what's behind you, because you look like you're in church, but I know you're not. I know you're home. And so that's a cue to us where your mind and heart is. But to get personal right away, during the writing of this book, I know your family faced some health challenges. You welcomed a baby, Barbara, and also faced the COVID lockdown. How did the roots of liturgical life at home serve you throughout all of that?
Yeah, I think it was a great reminder to all of us of how easy it is for us to take the access that we have to Mass and the sacraments for granted, because it hasn't been a given for Catholics throughout time that we could just go to Mass. You know, in the Diocese of Los Angeles, I mean, there are Masses I could go to just about every hour of the day. And to have that taken away, we were so grateful in our family to have recourse to our liturgical living in the home traditions. And it really gave us that sense of routine and some normalcy and a way to meaningfully practice our faith in the home and really emphasize the domestic church when we needed to.
Mm-hmm. And inside, in the book, can you tell me a little bit about the format? Because it really is jam-packed with so much great information.
It is. So this is the second book on the liturgical year that I published with Ignatius Press. And the first one is called The Catholic All-Year Compendium. And that goes through the same feast days that this book covers and just sort of gives an introduction to the concept of liturgical living in the home and some history and stories behind these feast days and for saints and historical events in the lives of Jesus and the Holy Family and the early church. And then, and in that book, I give suggestions for here are some scripture verses or some prayers or novenas or litanies that are associated with those feast days. And then because that book was popular, Ignatius gave me the chance to actually compile all of those resources together in one book. So we're not having to look them up, especially on my phone, which I hate to do during prayer time. So this way it can be a book that is sort of a grab and go resource that doesn't have, it doesn't require any advanced planning. We usually just keep it on our dining room table and we pick it up, open it and see if this is one of the feast days that, that's covered in the book. And then it's really an easy way to incorporate these prayers and prayer itself into, we usually do it around the family dinner table, but it really could be used anytime.
Speaking of the domestic church and liturgical life at home, so where are you in your house? Is that your prayer space? Because I see the crucified Lord, I see the Stations of the Cross, among other things.
It is. We live in a very old house by Los Angeles standards. It was built in 1920. And this was an attic storage room, and it has this amazing sort of cathedral ceiling. And we just knew it had to be our little home chapel. And I painted the ceiling and the floor with stencils, so it could be just a quiet place in a busy, fun house for prayer.
You did all that stenciling yourself?
I did, yes.
Wow, that's impressive. Wow, that's really nice. So how, Kendra, can people find out more about your work? Because you also are a blogger, right?
I am, yeah. I've had a blog at CatholicAllYear.com for almost 10 years now, and it just sort of shows ideas for liturgical living in the home and Catholic life, and just what it looks like in one family.
So where can people find out more about your work? Where would they go?
Yeah, so you can find me at CatholicAllYear.com. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram. The book is available from my website or from Ignatius Press and wherever books are sold. It's even inside some bookstores, which is exciting.
Kendra, great having you with us. Take care of those 10 wonderful kids and stay safe.